Today we're coming at you with another astrology video.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about our moon signs.
Yes.
So I'm a Libra moon.
I'm a Gemini moon.
And a lot of air.
You know what's funny? I feel like when, now that I'm into astrology and I know you are too, saying what your moon sign is like kind of more personal.
It's so, yeah.
Because it's like, okay, sun sign, like it's who I am. If someone were to ask me what my sign is, I say Scorpio, like, you know, because I was born on the 23rd. But like moon is like, it's your emotions. It's how you react to things. It's very personal. It's how your moon sign can tell you a lot about the person because it can tell you how their mother was when they were born, what kind of, you know, love language their mother had towards them.
Yeah.
So I feel
about, like your insecurities as well, what you need in love. And I feel like a lot of times with moon signs, like other people can see those traits more than you can like yourself.
For sure, because I was actually gonna say your sun sign is who you're aspiring to be, or you know, how you act in certain situations, but your moon sign is how you feel. So I feel like you said, it's harder to analyze how you feel because it's just how you feel. Like it's just so natural that's just how you react to things, because you're not sitting there being like, oh my god, why do I do that? You just do it. You know what I mean? Where your sun sign is like, I act this way, I do this. Your moon sign is how you feel. So yeah, you're not really thinking about like, oh, like I wonder why I do that, or I wonder why I feel like that. Like it's just how it is. So yeah, it is definitely more personal.
Yeah, I feel like you have so much more to learn from that sign though. And that's
For
why
sure.
like, when you were saying like it's a little bit more revealing to like share your moon sign, it is, because it's like you're talking about like your inner emotions and your feelings and like sometimes your intuition and like your natural like instincts to things, and like that can be shaky for some people.
Oh, most definitely. And just to put it out there, I'm gonna post this book right here. It's a super informative book. It's called Moon Signs, The Key to Your Inner Life by Donna Cunningham. It's kind of an older book. I believe it came out in like the late 80s. But we'll both be referencing it today, and basically talking about how we feel about this information while also talking about what we already know about our moon sign. So it's not just from this, but we do reference it. So kind of getting into the characteristics.
Yes.
Tell me about some of the characteristics of your sign, or you know,
of the Libra.
The Libra moon.
Let's see. So we care about beauty and like aesthetics a lot. We tend to be loving, and like personable, they say, but sometimes it comes at the expense of us. Very diplomatic and super indecisive.
Yeah, that sounds about Libra.
Yep. Exactly Libra-like.
Right. That's interesting that you say you guys are like, you care about, you know, outward appearances and things like that. Because, okay, like, a sun sign Libra is also that way, but I feel like moon sign Libra, like, a lot of how you feel, like, internally can be fixed with how you look on the outside. Yeah. And like they say, look good, feel good, and like that to me is the most Libra moon saying ever.
And it's true. Like anytime I'm feeling like really sad, I'll go get my nails done or like go get a new outfit. I'm like, yes, I'm feeling so much better. My life is more beautiful. I'm always trying to like redecorate my home.
Right.
I like things to be aesthetically pleasing. Yeah. So Libras, like, they long for companionship, and I feel like that's definitely true. I'm working on that still. But yeah, it's definitely something that I feel like I've struggled with. Also, we really, like, okay, so we care about equality. Like, justice is, like, our #1 thing, right? And so when...
the scales!
So, like, when things aren't in harmony, Libra moons will, like, try and, like, appease everyone in their group, even if it's at the expense of them. You know what I mean? Just to keep everything at peace and at harmony at the surface.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, we talked about this before. Libra is the opposite of Aries. They're like, you know, the others. Like, how do other people feel? Let me make you comfortable. Whereas Aries is like, me.
Right. It's a good thing I have some fire in me.
Oh, some fire.
Actually, mostly fire.
She said some. Well, she's like burning.
Right.
Yeah.
What about characteristics of a Gemini moon?
Okay, so us Geminis, moons. Gemini sun, I don't know her. I'm just kidding. Love you Gemini suns too, but you know. Anyway. I would say the main thing is that we love talking about our feelings. You know what I mean? We're intellectuals, we're very witty, I would say. Restless, curious, persuasive, charming. But that all causes us to be bored rather quickly. One thing that I read was it basically said we experience a sense of self-worth depending on how much we communicate with other people and how much they communicate with us. You know, talking about their problems and concerns helps us understand them. Kind of making a mental note of like, okay, this is why you are the way you are. Oh, you went through this experience. This is why you're the way you are. Not so much talking about like emotions, but like how people react to things. Yeah. We can be somewhat reactive. So we feel like we can learn a lot from someone depending on why they react to certain things and how they react to it.
Interesting.
Yeah. I also feel like Gemini moons in general, we can't seem to understand how we're feeling unless we are talking about it. Like we don't just sit there with our feelings like alone, like, oh, okay, got it. Like, no, I have to keep blabbing on and on about it. Yeah. To be able to finally, like, get that aha moment of, like, oh, now it clicked. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's very, like, mental for us.
Well, that's partially probably, too, because, like, they're ruled by Mercury, right? And that's, like, the communication planet. Yeah. So Virgo and Gemini are both ruled by Mercury. Virgo is the slower version of Mercury. You know, when they take their time with something, they analyze it. Whereas Gemini is like that quick, you know what I mean? Like, okay, done, like multitask. When you think of a Gemini moon, think of someone who is great at multitasking. We can simultaneously be working on 10 different projects. And they can refer to us kind of as the jack of all trades, but the downfall to that is we will never be able to be happy with that one thing. We get bored easily, like bored super easily, and we need we're jack of all trades because you can't stick with one thing.
Right, exactly.
Like, I'm done. Right, it's over. It's boring.
Exactly. We need variety and change, and like that's why in relationships, I would say we need to be with someone who's willing to try a bunch of different things with us. Someone that like is willing to experience life with us and not just have one routine. Because if we're stuck on one routine, we literally feel insane. Like we want to try new things all the time. Gemini is the adolescent of the zodiac. So, you know, always just like trying new things, figuring out what they like. Okay, I got this is on board, or I master this next. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Kind of like that.
Yeah. But they're fun to be around. They're fun to go out with and stuff, I think. For sure. Because they're always getting into some stuff.
Yeah. One of the things I read was that like as Gemini moons, we make fun of our feelings to feel them. You know what I mean? Because a lot of comics are actually Gemini moons, if you guys didn't know that. This one looks it. Because laughing helps us heal with our problems.
It makes sense. Laughing heals a lot.
It really does. It really does.
I feel like I do that too.
I feel like if you laugh at it, it means you understand it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just in general, not just for Gemini moons, but I think in life, if you are able to finally get to a place where you can laugh at it, it means, okay, you understand it for all that it is, and one way or another, you've come to terms with it, so let's just laugh it off. Yeah.
It's like, that's all you can do now. Right. Because nobody gets out of this life alive. It's not that serious.
Right. And the only time that doesn't work is when you're laughing because it's awkward because you didn't understand.
Sometimes that happens too. Yeah. No, that's okay.
No.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that quote. Like, I'm kind of annoyed that it's bliss because you need to get out of that stage.
Come into the light.
And being in bliss is definitely not making you want to get out of it. One thing that I read that like kind of hurt my feelings, if I'm being honest with you, it says something along the lines of basically like we get to know people, right? And like we just get to know people and like figure out where they're coming from and why you know, they are the way they are. And once we figure them out, we feel like compelled to like move on to someone else.
I was gonna say like,
and like right, and then like it's almost like we do this to satisfy ourselves. And then after we satisfy ourselves by like learning about someone, it's kind of like a check.
Yeah.
And it goes on to the next person. And like they refer to it as entering another data file into your catalog of human experiences.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh my god, like that legit just made me sound like a robot. Like, oh, check, okay, got you, next.
It's like, got you figured out.
Okay, check, I'm bored, I already know you. Why are you talking to me?
Right.
I know like, your type. Is so rude, but so true.
Kind of true.
And honestly, this is a PSA to the people in my life. Like, if you've been in my life for a long time, like, you must be really interesting. Like, I haven't gotten bored of you yet. You know what I mean?
It's true.
That's why, like,
keep things fresh.
Right. I always, like, say this analogy of, like, the onion. Maya always laughs at me for it. But, like, an onion is a gift that keeps on giving. Like, it keeps peeling. There's more, there's more, there's more. And like some people just don't have more, and I don't have time to wait.
Right.
While you figure out if you have more.
Right.
Because I have more.
I'm gonna get bored.
Right. But I do feel like with what I just said, if it wasn't for my Scorpio, like I would be a heartless. Because like sometimes I do get bored, but I'm like, oh, but you're so sweet. You know what I mean? Like, and I want to like learn more about you. If it was for my Gemini, I literally would be so selfish, and I would just be like, okay, like you have nothing to offer me in terms of like mental stimulation, so I'm bored.
Yeah.
Like I need that rapid, I need that quick wit, and if you don't have it, it feels like I'm just talking to myself, even if you're talking. Yeah. Because I feel like I'm the only one talking about interesting things.
I feel like you're Scorpio though too, like you want to also have like deep intellectual conversations. So like it's something that like good communication, I just feel like is something that is important to you in general.
Sure. It definitely is. And I feel like having a Scorpio and Gemini in my chart is like, it's amazing, but also it's really hard because if I didn't have immense self-control, I would tell on myself all the time. Like literally, like I would probably be telling on myself all the time because I just want to talk and like about me, about you, about everyone. And then sometimes I'm like, Scorpio's like, that was too much. Okay, let's bring it down. Okay, so Sagittarius, Obvi, and you have like Sagittarius stellium. So like she has a lot of planets in Sag. Do you think that if it weren't for your Libra moon, and I'm your best friend, so I already know, like, you be talking, like, you say whatever you want to say, like, for sure. But do you think if you didn't have that sweet little Libra moon, you would be, like, even more brutally honest?
I think so.
Yeah.
I actually definitely think so.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get frustrated because, like I was saying earlier, that I just want, especially with like my friends and family, like I just want everyone to be happy and to like please them. So sometimes I really think, you know, I need to say something for their benefit, but I don't because I want to keep the peace and like the harmony. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, depending on what it is, it becomes a battle within me because I'm frustrated thinking that, you know, you're going to change or something different's going to happen or whatever it may be. And I never expressed it. Like I never expressed what was like wrong or what I was upset about.
Yeah, and that
to keep the peace.
Just messed with you in the end.
Yeah.
So what do you think, and this is like the kind of question where you don't need to have like a definitive answer for, because like it's something that I feel like we will figure out in life, all of us, but like what do you think you as your Sag sun needs to do for your Libra moon in order for your Libra moon to feel better?
You know, I was thinking about this a lot recently and I don't really have an answer yet. And then I was like, you know what, girl, you need to start thinking about that. Because I think at times I have a hard time finding a balance and I'll just go one way or the other. So I'm actually for the first time kind of realizing that that may be a problem and that I should like focus on that and think of how I can appease the moon, the Libra in me as well.
Right.
Because I do have a lot of fire that just kind of wants to charge and like
do
things and like tell people that they're like stupid and wrong, and it's like, no, there's a better way to go about this. And I think actually the Libra will be more charming than my Sag self.
For sure. And you might have even gotten what you wanted a lot faster using the Libra energy in your chart than your Sag, even though in your head you're thinking, well, if I just say it, if I'm blunt and I just say it how I want it, maybe I'll get it the way I want it. Yeah. When sometimes I feel like we neglect a Libra's ability to get what they want without actually saying it. Whereas a Sag is very much like, can't you tell this is what I want? This is what I want. Are you stupid? And then a Libra can literally be doing the same thing, but the charm and their verbiage and how relaxed they are when they're saying it, that can possibly make the person give you what you want a lot faster.
Yeah. They almost make you think that it's like, this is your idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about you?
So what can like my Scorpio do for my Gemini, or my Gemini for my
Gemini do for your Scorpio?
Oh, okay. I should just probably learn to let things go. I feel like my Gemini, it gathers all this information for me, you know what I mean? And then my Scorpio finds one thing that I could focus on, and like I start driving myself crazy with that one thing. But like there's so many other factors in my life that could possibly be making me happy. Yeah. But I'm not really allowing that to happen because I get stubborn and I just focus on one thing and I just start going in on it and analyzing it. But I just need to be more carefree in a sense. Yeah.
Good advice, you to you.
Yeah. If only I could take it.
So, handy dandy
notebook. We're going to talk about the typical emotional reactions of Libra moons. Are you ready?
I suppose.
Are you going to cry?
I might. I might exit stage right.
Okay. The pink cloud feeling of love and communion are the ones these people crave above all. Feelings that rock the boat or look ugly are not wanted, so may be pushed down and strongly denied.
Fix.
And then basically the paragraph ends with, unfortunately, when discord is held in long enough behind a facade of sweetness and light, the romance goes sour anyway, and the Libra moon will once more be looking for Mr. or Mrs. Right. Wow. So how do you feel about that?
I feel like it's true.
You like looking through rose-colored glasses a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Or not like now, but like, and that's something you've struggled with, right?
I feel like I also am always just wanting things to be really pleasant and happy all the time, but it's like you can't have happiness without sorrow. And so like when I've pushed things under the rug, it's just like came up and completely exploded in my face, you know what I mean? And then it ruined even the happy moments, you know what I mean? So it's like you have to find a balance of not making everyone happy. It's about you, you know what I mean? Like your life shouldn't be about making everyone else happy. Like yes, there's justice and you can find equality like for yourself without making everyone else like doing it for everyone else
for sure. And how much happier can you make someone else if you yourself are not happy?
Yeah.
It's like that example, like if the airplane is crashing, put your own mask on first before you help someone else.
Yeah.
And I feel like Libras generally do the opposite of that.
It's so funny because even just as you said that, I would be like, oh, let me help Sarah put her mask on, and then I'll put my mask on. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just like, that would naturally be my first.
It's your instinct.
My first instinct to do. And yeah, whenever I'm done with the relationship, I'm like, okay, on to the next.
Oh my God. Speaking of that, security and insecurity, that's one of the, you know, paragraphs.
This one's bad.
It says, rarely do Libra moons feel secure living alone. The constant presence of someone who cares for them makes the world feel safe and desirable. Their home is seen as a love nest, a backdrop for romance. So, considerable effort goes into decorating it attractively. Given their innate good taste, their homes can be quite beautiful. Libras are insecure, not to mention miserable, without a committed relationship. So the search to find and maintain one may occupy much of their energy. When they are feeling insecure, they tend to need reassurance of love. That was like very deep. How do you feel about that?
I feel exposed. I feel like y'all know me now, and I don't know you. So.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Okay, but the part about like your homes being beautiful, like Maya is an amazing decorator. Yeah, and like whenever she's going through shit in her life, she like changes something in her room or outside.
Yeah, I'll rearrange furniture.
Yeah, like it's like a thing.
Because it like sets a new tone.
You don't want to talk about anything else in here?
No. Alright, next. So, the typical emotional reactions of a Gemini.
Moon.
Yes, Gemini moon, sorry. Emotions are an enigma or a matter of curiosity to these intellect-oriented whizzes. They enjoy examining and categorizing yours, asking you a million questions, but they're not keen on delving deeply into their own. The things that upset them most are not knowing the answer, having their intelligence impunged, or dealing with stupidity on the part of someone else. That's very funny. We've talked about this before. Yeah. People with this moon sign value rationality above all else, so when confronted with an emotional crisis, they will try to reason things out and make the most logical choice. Many Gemini moons use laughter as a way of dealing with tension or pain. There are many comics with the witty moon sign. Humor is a healthy coping mechanism so long as it's not compulsively clowning as a way of avoiding the issue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, talking about the part where it said, I hate, like, dealing with stupid people. Didn't quite say that, but that's what it really meant.
But that's basically
I really do, like... Don't get me wrong, I'm the first person to laugh at myself when I do something dumb. But, like, people who are, like, just are not intelligent, like, I'm just like, you didn't even try, like, to learn anything in life.
Right. She has no patience for that.
No, I really don't. And it's funny because one of my, like, Scorpio traits is intolerable. Yeah. So that tied with this, like, I'm really just intolerable, like, when it comes to stupidity, because I feel like you have no excuse.
Right.
Another thing for me is, like, I immigrated here from Iran. Like, I just feel like if you have the opportunity to go to school and go to, you know what I mean, and learn something, and you chose not to do that, I don't feel sorry for you. Like, you didn't push yourself.
You didn't try? It's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now I'm going to read about your security and insecurities. For Geminis, security comes in understanding something and having it so well figured out that they can explain it to someone else. If they can put a name to it, they've got it under control. Education is also a form of security for these people. It's the one thing no one can take away from them. Want to make a Gemini moon really insecure? Yawn while they tell one of their endless stories.
Okay.
I feel like that was so perfect. It literally talked about like what you said.
I hate playing games that I don't know like how to play. Like even like board games. Something is like fun. Like it could be game night and it's like a game that like I don't know how to play and everyone else like knows how to play. And like they'll be willing to teach me, but I'm just already annoyed. I'm like, what the fuck? What a stupid game. Like, I can't believe I don't know how to play this game. Like I get so pissed. I'm like, I don't know if in my head I'm thinking like, okay, I can never win if I don't know how to play it. I'm already a step behind everyone else because everyone knows how to play it. Yeah. Even if I learn, it won't give me enough time to perfect it. So to me, I'm like already mad. Like it triggers the fuck out of me. I don't talk about that enough because it's like you said, like things with your moon sign, it's just like you don't think about because it's just who you are. But like I've realized that like I hate doing things that other people have done before, but I have not. Because like, I'm like, does this mean I'm stupid? It's like my worst fear. And like I know I'm an intelligent woman, you know what I mean, and I'm a quick learner and I'm analytical, so when I do something that I don't, you know, I'm a beginner, it irritates me.
Yeah. That's so funny. I really like this last one. I'm gonna say it again because I kind of fucked it up, but yawn while she tells a story and that will make her very angry. Yeah. Any Gemini moon, actually.
Like, honestly,
it's so disrespectful.
It's so mean, because, like, you don't understand the amount of effort I put into making this story interesting for the both of us. But on the real, like, I feel like when I'm telling a story, like, it's an exciting experience for anyone that's around me. So you better sit and listen, because let me make your life.
I mean, it only makes sense because it's like you expect really exciting, great stories from other people.
Exactly.
So then you only tell really great and exciting stories. So when people ignore those great and exciting stories,
I'm like, huh?
How dare you?
Like, what? So, okay. Whatever.
Oh
yeah, that's so true, because on the other hand, like, I love hearing other people say stories.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the adolescent, I'm like, oh my god, and then what happened? Like, what'd you do? Or like, how'd you react? Like, oh my god, no, she did it. Like, did she really? Wow.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an active listener, and I'm like, I'll ask you questions. Like, I want to feel like I was there with you.
Yeah.
And when I'm telling a story, I want you to feel like you were there with me. So I'm going to tell you everyone's reactions. I'm going to tell you even a little side story. And then we're going to be out of the side story onto the next story. So yeah. Just don't look bored, because it'll really hurt my feelings.
Yeah. Geminis are storytellers. If you don't want to listen to their story, don't let them start. What moon sign do you get along with best, and why?
Okay.
Or you think you're most like compatible with?
Okay. I love my fellow air moons, to be completely frank. I also really like fire moons because they're fun. But I'm saying air moons because I feel like Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini moons, to me, I can have endless conversations with. And like, we could talk about anything and nothing is off topics, and we don't get too deep into it to the point where like we can't talk about something else. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like conversations with air moons are generally witty and extremely fun. Yeah. I get along with other moons, but I feel like air moons are more lighthearted in that sense. So yeah. Yeah. What about you?
I would agree with that. Air signs definitely, but it's interesting because when I was looking at I was looking back at my friends' charts. I have a lot of friends with like water moons, and I think it's maybe because they are really, they have like this feminine energy that I feel like is really strong, and it makes me open up to them, and like it's like really comforting for me. Yeah. And I feel like it takes a little bit of time to like maybe get their love, and I don't know, I liked that. Yeah.
I feel like Libra moons remind me of water because they're so soft, and like, even though they are, you know, obviously an air moon and they have that intellectual part as well, but I feel like they're very sensitive, and I don't think Gemini and Aquarius moons have that. I think Libra moons do more than any other air moon. Okay, so I was reading somewhere that said when you're drunk, your moon sign comes out. And I was like dying because like, I feel like it's so true. Yeah. And I feel like it's funny because like, when we drink together, it is honestly like, I mean, we're already the life of the party. Yeah. But I feel like when we're drunk together, like we are like on a social high. Yes. Like we're literally like, okay,
hey everybody,
like, let's work the party.
Right, we're like charming people left and right. We'll like spin in a circle, like switch. They'll be like, oh, who are you?
No,
we'll switch back.
So like true, because like I'll be sassy as hell when I'm drunk too, and like so funny. The funny thing is like, I feel like people have even told me before, like when I'll be talking to them, like they'll be like, oh my god, like why are you so mean? Or like my smart little remarks like come out even more when I'm drunk, because I'm like, what do you mean by that? Or like, that didn't make any sense. Or like,
it's true. That's so funny.
I just thought that was hilarious. Yeah. And if you don't know what your moon sign is, find out and really think, like when you drink, is that generally how you act, or does your sun sign resonate with you more than your moon sign? Because to me, I've noticed, your moon sign is how you generally are when you're drunk. Yeah. And it makes sense because it's who you really are. So when you're drinking and everything else is out the window and you're just doing what you feel, it makes sense for your moon sign to be all out there. So how did you feel when, you know, you discovered you had a birth chart, you know, when I told you. Yeah. And you like learned that you had like a Libra moon. Because like, okay, think about it. In life, most people are just going around, what's your sign? What's your sign? It's like your sun sign. You don't generally know that you had like this whole other chart, all these planets and all these signs that you embody. So how did you feel when you learned that your moon sign, a sign that's pretty personal as your sun, is, you know, a Libra?
I was definitely at first I was confused because I was like, wait, what is a full birth chart? And then I was like, okay, let me read up on this, and like things started kind of making sense about myself a little bit more. Yeah. And honestly, I think what was the most telling was when I found out that it was in the 8th house. Yeah. Like my Libra is like in the 8th house, because it's like a little bit darker, and like when I have sex with people, like it's kind of like this different kind of like exchange that I was reading about, and I was like, whoa, that's very telling and kind of very true. So I don't know, I felt like I learned a lot more about myself when I found out. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. What about you?
Well, when I found out I had a Gemini moon, I was like, oh my god, Gemini is like the most hated sign of the zodiac. Okay, cool.
I love Gemini.
I know, I love Gemini too. But literally, like, just like every other person that didn't know jack shit about astrology, I want to say I was like, what? I was like 15 when I found out. 15, 16? 16? Yeah. And I was like, whatever. Gemini moon, I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm a Scorpio. Like, bye. Like, birth chart, what the fuck is that? Like, it's not even on the back of, like, the 17 magazine. Right. Which obviously means it's not important. So I was like, whatever. And then I got more into, you know, actually reading about astrology, and I was like, okay, maybe this bitch is like real. Maybe this moon sign shit is real. So I started reading about moon, Mercury, like everything. I was like, Gemini, like, does that mean I'm two-faced? Like, I was a little scared, and then I was like, no, like, it's crazy. Like, this is how I am. Like, I really, really am always looking to like communicate, you know what I mean? Like, even though I'm a Scorpio and I'm private, ever since I was a little girl, like all I wanted to do was like learn, and like I picked up like different toys and just like pull them all apart to see if I could put it back together. Like, who the fuck did that? Like, go play with a Barbie, like. And then I realized, wow, like I really do just think about my emotions in a logical perspective, and if it doesn't make sense that way, I'm kind of hard on myself. And I learned, okay, like, how can I mix these two energies to help me? You know what I mean? Scorpio and Gemini, how can I learn to mix these two in a way that makes me easier to understand? You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, feel what you want to feel, but don't rationalize it, you know? So I was just picking up on the fact that my Gemini would make me rationalize in a way that would help me not feel things, you know? And if I didn't feel it, I didn't have to deal with it. And if I didn't have to deal with it, I could shove it under the rug and move on to the next thing. Yeah. And that was like a buildup in my life, you know? So it just helped me understand why I was logical, because I never got it. I thought I was supposed to be emotional. But when I figured that out, I learned about me. Yeah. I think learning about your moon sign is a teller of like why you really are the way you are. And your sun sign is why you act the way you act. So it's definitely interesting.
Yes, it's a nice little road to go down, though. Like, you really do learn a lot. Like, you learn a lot about yourself. And I mean, I'm just getting into it, so it's treading lightly. Yeah. Because it is honestly, for me, it's kind of been a lot sometimes, but like, it's very telling. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's funny that this kind of came full circle of like the ignorance is bliss comment. Yeah. Because it's like, it was, yeah, you could just go about your life not thinking about this stuff, but you're going to be so much happier and like harmonious when you combine the two, and you like, or the 12 or whatever, however many it actually is.
The houses.
Yeah, all the houses, to like, you know, really start understanding like how you move throughout the world and how the planets and the stars affect you.
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes, to make it a little deeper, I wonder if people don't want to learn more about it or understand it, because it is kind of a read on you and something that no one's been able to tell you before. It is kind of like going to therapy and someone's like, no, this is who you are. Like, it's not like what other people are doing to you. Like, this chart shows who you are to the core. And some people don't necessarily want to hear that because they think they already know who they are. Right. And I feel like those are the people that will generally make fun of astrology because it's, you know, another subject that they haven't even had the chance to learn anything about, and it's scary being told something that you have no idea about, you know?
Yeah. That is interesting that it's like astrology is like all about you, and so people, could be really afraid to dive into it because they don't want to learn about themselves.
Yeah, I mean, even on the astro community on Twitter, like they say, you know, it's rude to post someone else's chart if you haven't gotten their permission, and it's true, you know what I mean? Like, that's so personal. Someone who can actually read a full birth chart, if they have access to that, there's a lot about you they can know.
They can figure out,
you know? So it is personal, and it is something that's going to matter if you, you know, decide to share it with someone else. I feel like that's a big step, especially like a synastry read, which is a reading between you and your significant other, or someone you're interested in, or someone you have history with. It's your charts together and how your energies work together.
Okay, y'all, that was our little spiel on moon signs, and our moon signs more specifically.
Yes, a little triggering.
Yeah, a little triggering. Happy Taurus new moon, right?
Yeah,
it's the new moon, Taurus.
Today.
And, you know, like, comment down below. Like, okay, so we like talking about astrology and stuff, but let us know if you guys like it as well. Like, comment, subscribe, and then we can, you know, keep coming with the astro videos.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll link the book that we talked about down below, and maybe a couple of websites for where they can make their birth chart.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.